No, that's not true. I did go. It was really great at first, and then... I didn't see it myself, but I hear he turned nasty. He hurt a bunch of guys pretty bad, and there was this girl, she died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right. I wasn't involved with that at all. I don't know what happened.
Fine. I need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime, you stay here, okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay.
That look
Fine.
Alan had on his face there for a second.
I hope you're right about this.
You're gonna stay here this time, right?
Because the last time I didn't, and that thing, whatever it is, happened to me.
Yeah. I don't want you to get hurt again.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stay put. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I learned my lesson.
Good. It doesn't have to happen exactly the same way this time around. You proved that much when you went out and got those things for me. I think you're gonna be okay.
Let's hope you're right.
Alright.
Stay away! No! This wasn't supposed to happen again! No!
So much for that, eh? Let me get those. Wake's friends.
Alice and Barry, my wife and my best friend, are easily the two most important people in my life. And they've never really gotten along with each other. I suppose both of them resent the other's intrusions into what they considered their domain. After I was gone, they maintained an uneasy truce. My book stayed in print, still selling, the licensing machine churned away. She was my wife and controlled the intellectual property. He was my agent and took care of the business. I wish they found more common ground than that.
Now, I knew it wasn't going to be this room, but I also knew that there was the manuscript page in this room, so hence why we came over here. It should be this room if it stays the same as last time. Excuse me.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the Champion of Light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same.
I guess I should have checked out that room first, but I'm almost certain there wasn't anything in it, or else the radar would have told me when I was walking by. The Mount Redtooth Observatory, Arizona.
Mount Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the Champion of Light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
Alright,
As history
back to
repeats
work.
itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
I mean, it saves trouble, saves time if we do it like that, obviously. I heard him sneaking up on me, too. I don't know what it is. Oh, the drawer. Trying to figure out what it is that they want me to open. Is he really throwing friggin' grenades? Okay, that's fair. Should be one more guy, apparently. Take that.
Oh, praise be. You guys are coming through for me. A pretty little light just started blinking on my board here, and that means there's a caller out there. You know, when the hours stretch into eternity like this, when it feels like I'm stuck in a rut and just reliving the same endless night over and over again, I feel genuinely touched by someone actually reaching out to me, breaking the monotony. I just want you to know that it really matters to me. Caller, you're on the air. You suck, Eddie! Did you know that this is my dream job? True fact?
Fuck. Love how he played that off. I can't remember if we had found a radio on the last one. I think we did, but I'm not entirely sure. And by that I mean like a radio on the last map there. Good on everything. 27. Dr. Meadows.
When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
I don't think there's anything else over here. I know the weapon crate was to the right there, and then the other one was like right at the top. I think the other one at the top was the combat shotgun, unfortunately, which I'm pretty sure took 40. Or takes 40 pages to unlock, rather. Yeah, there's a darker atmosphere the second time around. You can already tell by just going through it. Thought there was a guy there. I don't think so. So lucky this guy's behind me. Backs himself into a corner, no big deal. I know that gate to my right wasn't open before. Cosmological truths.
There are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
See if there's anything in here. Get the imaging array. Oh, our car's over here. Okay. Makes sense. 15 for the hunting rifle. What does it look like? I can pick... Okay, I can. Yeah. Not that I really expected the scope to pop up, but I wanted to see. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe the top one was only 20. In any case, we're going to find it. I know I didn't have 15 when I was at this point. I'm going to get that just yet. The darkness.
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
Alright. Let's go ahead and get this imaging array. Let's return back up that way. We'll take our time, and we'll go the longer way too. Just so I can check that other building. The other buildings, rather. These guys again, eh? I thought that was a different one, but I wasn't entirely sure. There's more than one? Well, I knew there was more than one, but I wasn't sure if there was 3 of them. Obviously there's 3, or they're just strong as hell. It only ever took 2 shots. Or maybe they were stronger. Okay, so I can definitely shoot them twice. That's what it is. I have to start doing that then, I guess. Don't go out light. There we go. Checkpoint. Just what we wanted. It's going to be a little bit before we head back to the telescope. Or rather, head to the telescope for the first time. Dun dun dun. Kidding. Seeing flashbang straight ahead. Any notes? No notes. Do need the shotgun ammo too, and hell, we need the flares, so. I was kind of looking this way. It was kind of unnerving. Guess there's nothing though. Yeah, hopefully I can open that other box. I don't think it was more than 40. Main observatory. I thought the doors were wide open. I was like, what? A little confused for a second. That must count because, like I said, when I come through the second time, see, I only have to shoot him once. So although it doesn't look like it, doesn't seem like it, it does count. Cool. I do know there's a note there, but like I said, I'm going to double back and then we're going to come back up for that too. I just want to check this other building, make sure there's nothing over here. Gonna get attacked, but it's fine. Worst case scenario, I still have that Uzi on me. Finally be able to put it to good use. Just the shotgun can't be beat. It's too good. Like, for every aspect. For the spiders, it's good. Does the most damage. Well, probably doesn't do the most damage. Probably does one of the most damage, though. I imagine, like, the hunting rifle would do the most. And then maybe the carbine would do more. Not that much more, but... I didn't want to switch from flares, but... Wasn't sure if I could just, you know, leave it. There is something over here. Haha. Let me know your secrets. 30. Lost in the dark place.
After my disappearance, they thought I was dead. I might as well have been. I know it's been 2 years. I know Alice has moved on. I've tried to find a way back to her, back to my life, but escaping the dark place is almost impossible. Time does strange things here, but dreams and radio signals can pierce the veil between the worlds. I catch glimpses and echoes of the world. Sometimes I send messages out. I can only pray that they hear them.
All right. The hell? Load up as I kind of move away. It probably does as much damage as the hunting rifle and or the carbine if you're close up. So it obviously maximizes the damage. It is 40, fuck. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. The Taken.
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
So I'm not sure if I said it out loud, but I was thinking that we were going to have to come back through here one more time before we end up breaking the cycle. Usually games like to work in groups of 3s. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I noticed that with like every game. In any case, though, that kind of seems to be the case. It makes it more apparent considering I need 40 pages, and I don't think I've missed that much, so obviously we'll probably come through here one more time. And I'll have the right amount of pages. Probably gonna have to do another not last stand, but another stand out here. The nature of stories.
Stories come naturally to us. We can't help it. There are many different worlds, many competing realities within our heads, fueled by books, television, even barely remembered childhood tales. There's an endless supply of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street. Our destinies and inspirations are shaped by lies, myths, and fables.
Alright, let's see if she'll let us in.
It's you! How dare you! No, wait. It isn't you, is it? I suppose you'd better come in. I'll unlock the door.
Thanks. I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that.
I knew he was gonna grab the hammer too.
Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic. Speaking of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really a workhorse, but...
Fucking Alan looks back at us.
Style.
He's like, really?
Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me. I know what you're thinking. It's too big, too heavy. But sometimes you just need the extra oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job. Also great for dismemberings and whatnot. You know, the messy jobs. I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff. Okay, now, guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet? I want you to understand that. I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
Yeah, like I said before, in some frames, like not all, a whole lot or all of the frames, but in some frames he looks like Christian Bale. Then in other frames he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. Maybe it's just me, but is that over there? Don't need any of that.
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
I think I'm fully loaded on everything. Which is nice, of course.
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
I mean, it's kind of out of our way. And to be honest, we secure the primary pipes. That's probably at the bottom of the hill. And to be honest, we missed the first section, so there's no point of talking to her in this section. The hell, those weren't there before. They're gonna climb it? They are too. That's kind of cheap. Yeah, you can get out of the way fast enough. Shit. Okay, pop that. The grenade guy isn't there. Back there throwing crap at me. I was gonna say, I swear to God, if he jumped. So he's stuck there. I think he just killed himself though. Alright. Secure these primary pipes.
These beams hate the light, am I correct? You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way.
Doctor, can you hear me? I think we're good to go.
All right. I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
It's gonna make me have to go a long way, isn't it? Or a longer way, rather.
I guess they didn't like that.
I gotta get to this checkpoint quick. It's a good thing I kind of somewhat dodged that. Just gotta get to this checkpoint up here. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, figures. Dodge. It's this big guy if he starts like charging and shit. I got a flare now. Let's hope that's a... let me try that again. Let's hope that's all of them. How'd I get so lucky? No, it sucks. They're all grenade guys too. It's like the only time I would never or wouldn't want to use the shotgun dealing with these guys. Goes behind the van too. Yep. How'd I know? See, if I just stun him though, then it's not as bad. I don't have to chase him for as long and crap like that. I can use it to get close to them. It's not even gonna heal me. What kind of crap is this? I mean, I'm inside. There's light.
It's working. Please, come up here.
Guess they're taking her and attacking this time. Guess I could have got the flares that were over there too, eh? Whatever. I'm sure I'll be fine.
You find the signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had, the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes. I was involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there anything else?
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions, I can, for lack of a better word, rewrite reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does. If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware of it?
Look, all I meant was that if you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
Wow.
Another printout. Another signal fragment. The message is still not complete, but it's another piece of the weapon he has built against his adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
And we're back to basically where we started recording at the beginning of this recording session in the last chapter. Like I said, the Night Springs Drive-In Theater, Arizona. Try that again. Like I said before, wait, there's gonna be another. Never mind.
The last time the man came to the drive-in, it did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time. He hopes that what he has brought with him to this place is enough.
I was gonna say, I screwed myself over. Can't even remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that... Fuck, what was I gonna say? I honestly don't know now.
Serena's probably out of her mind again. But I'm gonna need that key so I can get the power back on.
Oh well, it's probably not important. I want to just hit a checkpoint so we can end this. Listen to this first though. The dangers of creation.
To change the world, you must craft a blueprint for the new reality. Any work of art will do, as long as it's a genuine act of creation. That's what the energies of the dark place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply, even if you don't realize you're doing so.
Hopefully I get a checkpoint as soon as I walk in here.
You
on?
I'm really just here to get the keys so I can get the power back on.
Do you want to hold me down? It's okay. I know you like that.
Yeah, I'll just grab the keys.
I could be like your wife, little wifey, waiting at home for hubby. Or you could be the mailman, or the neighbor.
I'm already married to someone who isn't crazy, thanks. I'm just gonna go and get the power back on.
Aww.
Look, I may or may not be back. I have the access code to the booth already, so once the power is on...
You should totally come see me. We could have fun. You know.
We'll see how it goes. You should sit down or something. Try to stay calm.
I don't want to be calm. I want to be nasty. I want to be nasty with you.
Yeah, okay.
You could do anything you want. You can use my...
Let's not even go there. I was hoping that you'd remember more, but I guess that was too much to ask.
I think that was it for interaction. I still don't know if I've hit a checkpoint or not. It's kind of been unclear, and I don't really want to have to redo some stuff, so I'm just going to play on and let it run on for a little bit longer, 'cause it's going to be a little bit longer. And yes, to answer my question, there was both a radio and a... there we go, checkpoint reached. So I'll end it here. But yes, there was both a radio and TV. I'd interacted with them both. So anyways, we're going to end it here because it's above and beyond my time. But when we come back, we'll continue on. Hopefully I can do the next whole part of the game in the next hour of recording session afterwards, but we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you're in the say, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and share, as it really helps me out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.